Good evening. I'm Michael Loomis, hanging out here with you on Friday night. Glad to be here with you once again, representing Chew Digest and everything about me and my life. I just wanted to stop by and say hi for a quick visit this evening. Hold on, let me go shut my door. Just noticed that open behind me. I tried recording this a little bit earlier, but I had a connection issue with the internet. I hope that I got that taken care of. I got out today bright and early this morning, took a nice walk, put in a little over 4.33 miles, I think. And I really, really love the way that makes me feel when I get home. Always feels great. And slept really good, pretty good last night. Not perfect, not great, but just pretty darn good. Got over to the gym today, got to spend some time in the hot tub and the steam room. I always like to get in there and just enjoy a little bit of heat and some moisture. It always feels good. And so today I spent an awful lot of time listening to a lecture by 4 different people working in the artificial intelligence field. And I didn't have a whole lot of notes to take down, but I did get to learn more about AI and where it is we're going here in the future and the kind of things it's going to help with, in that it's going to take some of our, I guess it really depends on the field that you're going to be working in, what kind of things it's going to be doing as an agency in your life. Most people will use it currently for things like asking it questions in the same way that they used to ask Google questions. The difference being really how it gets answered. And, it'll be interesting when we have a model of it that's more like an interactive person that you can, I don't say an interactive person you can talk to, but I'd almost like to think that, an agency that doesn't necessarily have restrictions on it, that would be nice, but I understand there's reasons why there is concern about allowing people to use something like a chat GPT with no restraints. I get it. There are some people who are not stable enough emotionally and mentally to be able to appropriately discern what's happening with this as a software, which is unfortunate because I'm one of those people that thinks it would be better to just teach people what it is, how it works, and why we need to treat it the way that we do, rather than just simply put guardrails on it and hinder somebody like me from being able to utilize its full faculties. But then I'm not everybody. Anyways, I like I mentioned, I did try to record this once earlier tonight, and I ran into a little technical glitch, and it only recorded about 2/3 of what I was really wanting to convey. I did have ChatGPT write a mission statement because on a recommendation I heard from that interview that I was listening to this today, and it was the idea of having ChatGPT write an a mission statement based on our interactions over the last 3 years. And I want to read that to you because, again, as I've mentioned, my doing this, or the reason I'm doing this, is for my grandchildren, great grandchildren, and all those people that are of my namesake or lineage hereafter, so they can have a better understanding of who I am in my absence. And it says, my mission is to pursue truth about human health, life, and well being through disciplined learning, observation, and scientific inquiry. By integrating principles from biology, nutrition, physiology, and systems thinking, I seek to understand the fundamental factors that allow the human body to function optimally across the lifespan. I aim to identify the nutritional, metabolic, and behavioral conditions that support a long, functional life, one in which individuals can remain physically capable, mentally sharp, and fully independent well beyond what is currently considered normal age. On understanding the relationships between diet, mineral metabolism, connective tissue integrity, and biochemical processes that influence aging and disease. Through research, education, and practical application, I strive to translate complex biological make better decisions about their health. Ultimately, my goal is to contribute to a future in which living to 120 years of age with vitality, mobility, and dignity is not an exception, but an achievable standard for human life. And then I also had to create a more philosophical version that leans into my ideas about systems, fluids, aging, and the architecture of human biology. And it goes like this. My work is guided by the belief that the human body is not a collection of isolated parts, but an integrated living system governed by flow, structure, and balance. More than 60% of the body is fluid, and life itself depends on the movement of water, electrolytes, nutrients, and signals through this circulating environment. When this system functions properly, structure is maintained, tissues remain resilient, and the organism adapts to the world around it. I seek to understand the architectural principles that allow the human organism to maintain integrity across time. Aging, in my view, is not simply the passage of years, but the gradual loss of structural order within this system. The deposition of unwanted compounds, the disruption of mineral balance, and the deterioration of connective tissue represents failures of regulation within a complex biological network that was originally designed to maintain stability and renewal. Through the study of nutrition, metabolism, mineral handling, and the chemistry of living tissues, I aim to uncover the conditions that preserve this internal order. My focus is not merely on extending lifespan, but on preserving the structural and functional coherence of the human body so that individuals can remain strong, mobile, cognitively capable, and independent throughout the full duration of life. Ultimately, my mission is to help restore an understanding of the human organism as a dynamic system, one whose health depends on the proper management of energy, matter, and information By identifying the principles that support this order, I hope to contribute to a future in which aging is not defined by decline, but by the sustained integrity of the biological architecture that makes human life possible. So there you go. Anyways, it is Friday night. It's 8:59, and it's about that time for me to just find myself vertically inclined, I'm sorry, horizontally inclined upon my bed back here. See this nice bed? Yeah. Anyways, um, that being said, I will have some more thoughts to share tomorrow about my mission statement, but I think that pretty much, kind of wraps up who I am. I think ChatGPT actually has a pretty accurate representation of who I am and who I think, because quite frankly, with all the interactions I've had with it over the last few years, I've given it a pretty strong, pardon my nose, I've given it a pretty strong impression of who I am, how I understand the world, and what it is that I'm trying to attain to. And as I reflect on that, sometimes I wish it were easier. I honestly thought that going to school and spending more time studying all these different things were actually going to make me more sure of myself. But in reality, what it did is I think it humbled me to be a little bit more appropriately unsure, so that I would remain more of a student who would allow himself to continually be curious and teachable, and not someone who is rigidly defined by any specific outside structure that would define me with boundaries to have to believe and subscribe and prescribe according to specific ideologies. So, anyways, that being said, I'm going to check out and I'm going to bid you adieu, my children, grandchildren, great grandchildren, and for all those people of my namesake that are born somewhere down the road. I will see you maybe at my 120th birthday. But if I'm not here, if I happen to check out at 119 and you still want to check out who I am, by then I'm hoping we have some virtual reality or artificial way of making it possible for you to have a conversation with me. And that's why I'm leaving this all here for you. Checking out from Chew Digest, my daily journal entry, Michael Loomis, signing off.